What's going on YouTube? Rob A again, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Generations Skids, or Autobot Skids as this is calling him, as he is part of the thrilling 30 line of Transformers, and he comes packed with an IDW comic book here. He's an Autobot, of course. He's Series 2 of the Generations line here, and number 009. So you can see he's got guns galore, and if any of you have been reading the More Than Meets the Eye IDW comic, you are probably already familiar with this guy here. He's got some stats going on here. Strength is kind of on the low side, intelligence is pretty high, speed, all that other stuff, yada yada yada. He's got a cruiser mode, which looks a lot like the evac vehicle from the Transformers Ride. To me, just in my opinion. Blasters combined, hidden weapons, all the good stuff. And Autobot Skids, with no memory of his life before a few cycles ago, Autobot Skids finds himself with a rare opportunity. Not knowing who he is allows him to be anything he wants to be, and the firepower of his mysterious new blaster gives him the strength to follow through on any adventure he pursues. So there you go. This guy's a level 2 transformation. I have a sneaking suspicion he may be a little bit more difficult than that, but whatever. So yeah, I'm excited about this guy. I've been reading the comics, so of course I'm interested in all the characters now. And what I'm going to do is get this guy open, and we will check him out in hand. So I'll be right back. Alright, so here we have Generation Skids in vehicle mode, and I have to correct myself constantly because I keep wanting to call this guy Drift, and I know he's not Drift. It's just I'm apparently having a difficult time reconciling that in my brain. But yeah, here is Skids. Looking very cool, very nice. Very IDW-esque. He rolls very nicely. He's got some very nice red wheels going on here. They painted the rims, which is always a nice thing. He does have the clip-on wheels in the back, which is kind of a bummer, but it's just how things are, guys. You can see his robot mode kind of bundled up underneath as well. When it did come unpegged. So just got, yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, but very nice vehicle mode. And like I said, it does remind me quite a bit of Evac from the Transformers Ride. But just kind of I think it's mainly the front end that kind of gives me that impression. I don't think I've got this quite right, because I think there we go, his windshield was kind of off-center, but he does come with 2 weapons that plug into the sides of his vehicle mode, like so. And you can also combine those together, but I'll show those off in a bit. Yeah, here's the back. My copy doesn't want to quite peg together securely in vehicle mode. I don't know if that's just because something's kind of off-center inside here, because he does do quite a bit of like scrunching up. Maybe I have a tab or something in the wrong spot, but keep an eye out possibly for that. Otherwise, like he seems fine. He fits together well enough. He rolls well, certainly. Yeah, and his transformation is not nearly as complex as you would think looking at the pictures. I mean, looking at the back of the box or whatever, the packaging, it looks like this guy like accordions a million times over to become what he is, but it's really not that difficult. So let's go ahead and transform this guy. And the first thing you want to do is just pull up the side panels here, the doors and the side windows of the car. Just like that, very simple. Now, on the package it says, and the instructions say to leave the wings out like this. And you certainly can, but I have found that if you turn them around, there's actually a little slot that's meant to kind of just clip in right there. And I think it looks a little nicer, actually, just like that. It kind of sticks out a little less, so it's up to you. It's personal preference. I kind of like the way they are there, so I'm going to leave them for the duration of this review. You can also flip the windshield however you like. Flip it down over the back. That is not shown in the instructions either, but you can certainly do that. So once you get that done, you just want to pull the arms out to the sides here, and actually maybe split the back first because the arms are a little bit stuck in there, and then just pull these bits down like so. There you go. There you go, just like that. And now you can kind of pull the arms out a little better, and they just detach from the front here, like so. The main problem with this guy is that his arms don't really go that far. He does have very limited arm articulation, which is kind of a bummer, but we'll get into that in a little bit. For the meantime, you just want to flip his waist around, so he does have a waist swivel. That's good to know. And then once you've got that, you can pull these sides of the back bumper down, like so. Okay? And then just flip them around and flip his toes out like that and like that, and there you have his legs all set. Okay, and then it's really just a matter of pull this forward and flip the top part around to reveal his head, and then just flip that down and in, and that just kind of sits in place there. It doesn't lock in as far as I can tell, but it sits there securely enough that it really doesn't flop around at all. I haven't had any problems. And he is a little bit back heavy, I will tell you that, but you can alleviate that a little by just kind of pushing that up, and it kind of clips into place pretty well. But yeah, there you have Generation Skids in robot mode. It's very nice representation of his IDW incarnation. Again, he is rather back heavy, so just keep that in mind. But this dude is loaded with weaponry. So we'll start off. He does come with these two little weapons. This little like weird clip-fed handgun, which you can stick in his hand there. And this larger like pulse rifle kind of thing, which you can stick over here. And then if you so desire, you can pull this apart and then plug it in over here like so, and you can have a longer like super rifle sort of weapon. Alright, so he has that, and then he's got these guns on his forearms that can actually pop out to the sides like so. Okay, you can come up here and pull these bits down from his fenders, and he can have missile batteries in his shoulders. There you go. And then he has a spring-loaded gimmick where if you take his backpack, pull it down all the way, it'll release these silver guns over his shoulders, and you can have those as well. And then you just flip this back up, and it'll snap back into place. So he's got a lot of heavy arms, and he doesn't remember his past. So he's got amnesia, and he's got lots of weapons. I don't know if that's a terribly good combination, but you know, it works for him, and that's what's important. So articulation, he's got a decently ball-jointed head. You can get a decent amount of range out of that. He's got the waist swivel, of course. He's got ball-jointed hips, which are weirdly limited forward. I don't know what the deal was. So you may want to actually take these, take his legs off of the little mushroom pegs here, and then just swap the tops of his legs, because he can get his legs behind him but not in front of him. So if you swap these pieces, turn them around, you can probably get a lot more articulation out of that, and it'll probably help alleviate some of his back heavy problems as well. He does have a knee, which is a little difficult because they're kind of ratcheted here, but the way that his leg bends, like here for transformation, it's a really hard time working against the friction to actually get his leg to bend in the right spot. You've got to just find a sweet spot to bend it at to get that to work. He's got ball jointed ankles, which is nice. Very, very good stance possibilities, as long as you don't have him leaning backwards too much. Now here's the real bummer. His arms. You can get a little bit of extra movement because his arms are on these little posts that kind of slide in and out for transformation. But this is as high as they go up with the guns deployed. And with the guns not deployed, let's see, if we put the guns away on his shoulders, put that back up, then he can get his arms a little bit higher. But that's pretty much it. His arms can go around fairly well, but then it hits his backpack kibble, so this is about as high as you're going to get. And then back about that far before it starts running into trouble. And he does not have a bicep swivel either, which is such a bummer, because you would have been able to bypass some of the problems with this if he could just move his biceps in some meaningful way. But no, he's got very basic, just essentially it's just a swivel and then an elbow, but he does have a ball jointed elbow, so you can get a little bit of range out of that as well. But it is very limited, and that is kind of a major bummer, really. It does take quite a bit away from the figure, and this figure would be so awesome otherwise. It really is a shame. But that said, it is still a cool figure. I do still enjoy it. I love the super crazy amount of armament that they gave this guy. It's just a shame that you can't really pose him all that well with it, or really get a whole lot of movement out of that. But that said, I still do recommend him. He's a cool figure. He's a nice representation of Skids. And if you do the changeover on his legs, you'll probably get a lot more enjoyable posing possibilities out of him. But yeah, he's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, recommended. I just don't understand quite what they were thinking of when they did his articulation. I would have rather had the articulation there over all the extra guns and stuff, but that's just my opinion. Other people may really like the guns. I mean, I like the guns, I just would have preferred the other thing. But anyway, that's going to do it for this review, guys. I want to thank you so very much. Oh, wait, here he is, size comparison. Don't fall. Here is the size comparison with a Viacon, and that should give you an idea of his size. And we'll go ahead and put him with Toy World's Grind Rod. There you go. There's some size comparisons. Sorry, that was hasty, but yeah. Anyway, thank you so very much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I got more Transformers coming real soon. And yeah, that's going to do it for me. In the meantime, thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.